Did you know that the mind-body connection for dancers can also relate to how they're fueling their bodies? Yeah, it's true. And today we're going to dive into why.
I'm Rachel Fine, registered dietitian nutritionist and founder of To The Point Nutrition. A dancer's performance is a direct result of hard work and motivation. So where does food fit into this? There's a lot of myths and a ton of antiquated ideals, and I'm here to dispel those.
Hi, I'm Rachel Fine. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, specifically working with dancers, helping them learn how to fuel their bodies in the most supportive way possible. I want to chat about the mind-body connection because for dancers, this is not something that's unfamiliar. In fact, our mind-body connection arguably plays a pivotal role in our artistic expression. It's a connection that involves our ability to move, from every tendu to a soda shop. Understanding how your body moves through space is a trait that many dancers hone into. But here's where things get interesting, because when it comes to our mind-body connection and food, things get a little bit murky for dancers. Here's why. An underfueled dancer is unfortunately a stressed dancer. And because intrinsic abilities to fuel our bodies become challenged when we are extremely busy and extremely active, such as that from a standard dance schedule, it's super easy to lose our mind-body connection if we are not fueling optimally. So how can dancers know if their mind-body connection is lost? Well, for starters, dieting and restrictive eating can be one of the reasons why a dancer might struggle, both in their mindset and in their physicality within the studio. A dancer's risk of struggling with what we call the dieting mentality can often set the undertone for a disconnect between a dancer's mind and body. And that reflects the external messaging of dancer diet culture that unfortunately saturates our studios. Our minds become flooded with restrictive food thoughts that therefore drive restrictive food rules and rigidity around our eating. Food decisions become more based on rules and less based on preferences, foods that we actually enjoy and that might leave us feeling more satiated and satisfied throughout our day. For most dancers, healing or maintaining a supportive relationship with food can help to reconnect their mind-body connection. And much of this work the dancers utilize with me within my program, The Healthy Dancer. We build what I call the Healthy Dancer body of evidence to start to reconnect to some intrinsic cues, whether those are appetite cues like hunger and fullness, or maybe cues of satisfaction. This can help in how we are making food decisions and navigating through fueling our days. The goal is to utilize more self-awareness. This helps us to gain clarity even during stressful and busy times. Some instances of when we can consider the Healthy Dancer body of evidence involve with simply building our meals and snacks, understanding our hunger cues, listening to fullness cues, responding or maybe not responding to diet talk or triggering comments in the studio, and even with understanding how our body responds to overtraining and overexercising. We want to build body trust. In doing this, we need to allow ourselves the ability to reflect through an internal and an external scan. So a few prompts that you can get started with, simple on any given day. How are your hunger and fullness cues? How are your hunger cues before any one specific meal? At what point in the meal are you starting to recognize your fullness cues? Is it halfway through? Is it a third of the way through? Perhaps it's after dishing a second portion of food for yourself. And how long after eating are those fullness cues remaining intact? Are you feeling energized and supported in the hours after your meals and snacks? Consider whether or not you're able to focus and concentrate in class. Are you able to pick up combinations? And how about with your movement? Are they feeling more joyful or are you teetering into burnout? These are just some examples of the prompts that I work through with dancers when building our body of evidence to further identify whether or not our daily habits are supporting us or hindering us. If you're not feeling those hunger cues, then maybe your schedule is a bit overbooked. If you are feeling very hungry shortly after eating, is it possible that that meal wasn't adequate enough? Maybe you need to add some food. Maybe you need to add more balance, foods rich in protein and foods rich in fat. If you're experiencing an uptick in cravings, it might be possible that you need to bump up the carbohydrates in your day. If you're teetering in the land of burnout, it could mean that you need a day off or time away from the studio. So I'm showing you examples of how we can utilize some of these prompts in thinking about our day-to-day habits so that we can make decisions that feel more supportive and less restrictive. Cultivating this strong mind-body connection supports goals for body attunement. This is a topic that I talk about often with dancers who I work with. It helps to sharpen our self-awareness. With a stronger mind-body connection, we begin to make decisions that support the longevity of our dancing. A couple examples of these decisions are increasing the variety of food at mealtimes, ensuring an appropriate balance of those macronutrients as I just discussed, prioritizing hydration efforts, adapting to mindful eating practices if and when that is accessible to us. Knowing when it's time to give ourselves some time away from the studio to rest and recover. Knowing how to navigate stressful conversations and knowing how to ask for help if and when help and support might be needed. So it goes without saying that the role of nutrition in fostering your mind-body connection is paramount. And the Healthy Dancer Body of Evidence is just one of the many tools that I encourage you start to dive into. But if you want more support through this, then just reach out. My program, The Healthy Dancer, is designed to work with you in building a strong mind-body connection so that you are fueling adequately throughout your day. You're setting that framework to build more experience into your life so that you can experience your time in the studio in the most productive way possible. To get started, simply head over to dancenutrition.com. You can start with a 7-day free trial, 0 commitment necessary, simply strategy, where you will work with me to learn more about the nutrients of focus that are going to support your performance starting right now. I cannot wait to see you there, and I'll talk to you soon.